Alright, hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of What's This Wednesday here on the channel, and today we have a charming, odd little game called Soda Girls. Now there's a little bit of a story behind this, because I saw this game a few weeks ago and had put it on my Steam wishlist because I knew a Steam summer sale was coming up, and I did get it for a reduced price during the Steam summer sale, and the entire reason I put it on my wishlist was because I thought it looked weird. I thought it looked weird, and I wanted to see how weird it was, but I didn't want to drop 10 bucks on it. $3? I think I paid $3 for this. $3 was the gambling price that this went for. And you know what? It might look a little odd, but it's actually kind of fun. You'll see in a second. I'm going to actually be playing this while narrating this time, but I've beaten the game, and so I know exactly where my train of thought wants to go. So here we go. We have unlockable characters, first of all, and additional palette swaps. This game starts out with just one character being available, and that's JC. And her main weapon and her basic color is this. She starts out as like a police officer. And the whole story of the game is that one of your friends gets kidnapped by some evil people, and you need to go save her. That's pretty much it. So we'll just go all the way back to the first level here, which is called the Riot Area. So it all starts out in the Riot Area, and your friend gets captured, and you need to go save her. The English in this game is not very good. It's, unfortunately not amazing. But one thing that makes this game stand out a little bit is that it's actually got customizable attack patterns. So the attacks I'm doing now are based off of a attack pattern that I already established by collecting different attacks and putting them into an attack string. So I'm just mashing right now because this attack string that I've built up is absolutely overpowered against basic enemies. So there we go. And there's another attack pattern, another attack right there. There's also a dodge roll, so it's kind of a little bit like an action platformer. But here we go. If I press the right button, you'll see that I now have a command string. Command strings A, B, and C. So I've also got almost all of her attacks unlocked as well. I think she's got 28 full attacks. And so if you press the button on 24 here, I can go ahead and I can swap it out for anything. So if I want to end with this gun that has blocking on it, then I can. If I want to go to any other pre-planned attack string, I can. And that's kind of what makes this game charming in its weird simplicity, because normally you'd think, well, this is just a weird, crappy little game, like it's just going to be a boring side-scroller, there's not going to be much to it, etc., etc., but it's actually weird because that's the case. Because of the case that you get these extra attack upgrades, it's actually not as boring as you'd like to think. It actually keeps it a bit fresh. So you press start to exit the level, and you can go back, and you can even go and choose branching paths. But one thing I wanted to show you also was that you can go do the combat right from the main menu. So if you want to go through here, you can do it from the main menu. I prefer doing it in the levels, though, so you can attack while mixing it up. And you can change on the fly in the middle of the levels as well. So if you're fighting a boss and your command string that you're using now isn't working so well, you can swap it up to a different command string and hopefully get something different. They also have different modifiers like ornaments. So you can collect the bottle caps to unlock these ornaments. So you can get stuff like increased attack speed, or increased attack damage, and then also upgrade HP. So if you find your character needs a little more HP, you can do that. You can also level them up. So this one's +1. I have +1 green perfume, which increases the number of caps, so I can easily grind for caps more. Increase drop gift box, so you can get items quicker, which items will unlock different weapon skins, different colors for the girls, and extra caps, I believe, you can also get from those. Like big lots of caps, like you can unlock, like one of them had 1,000 caps in it for me, so that was pretty good. That was pretty rare, though. I usually only get between 100 and 500. You can also get increase your experience, because the girls can level up. And you can also get stuff like Pink Bomb Keychain, which is after being hit, you get explosion. So when you get hit, you explode. Or after being hit, your invulnerability frames actually increase their duration. You can also get enhanced soda drinking effect, or increase the number of sodas you get, because your sodas are kind of like your Estus flasks from Dark Souls. You only get a few per area, and then you chug them and they're gone. And then you can get the PS400 pad, which is when the dying attack power increase, or attack power increase when the life is full, and there's some of your good English we have there. So when your life is full with the Xbox pad, you get stronger attacks. When your life is lower with the PlayStation pad, your attacks get stronger. There's also a few other amazing little things this game has, like the hippie. right? The hippie zombies, the basic zombies, I've actually upgraded them to 2-star level, which means that the more I play these levels, the more likely that the basic zombies will be improved and stronger. So unlock more monster levels, kill them for more trophies, new monsters have a chance to variation, which basically means just what I said. When you kill more monsters, you can sort of upgrade them, and you can increase their rarity and their variation on how they can actually spawn in the levels. But I think they also reward you with more items and increase the difficulty of the game. So if you find the game is a little too easy, you can easily just buff up the basic enemies here, like the zombie and the hippie, up more than your items, and then you'll have a stronger, more difficult enemy base, which means you'll have to play around with your moveset more. There was also the challenge modes. There's actually unlockable challenge modes. I've cleared one. I've unlocked these 4 others here. There's 16 challenge modes you can unlock. You can kind of find them hidden throughout certain areas. Let's just see what challenge number 1 is. Challenger is JC. She has 3 cans of soda in 2 minutes to kill all the monsters. Let's just see what this one's about. So you can see that we've got these zombabies coming through. And I'm using my main attack string here. And they explode on death. So what I'm going to do... Oh, I can't change my attack string in this mode. So I was going to change my attack string to my balls that I use, because those are really strong. That attack string is actually quite overpowered. And I died. So there you go. The zombabies are actually really difficult, just because they have that spew attack, and they explode on death and spew more, so you really have to time your dodges. Your dodges will give you invincibility frames, so that way you won't get hit through certain attacks, which is another great little thing in this game. The controls are pretty smooth. You can also get things like the monster memories, if you're lucky enough to find them in the levels by searching nooks and crannies. Some of them are really easy to find, and others might give you a little bit of trouble. Not too much trouble, though, but you can have all 5 memories, which kind of tell you like a little bit of a backstory, what happens through the game. I'll leave those unspoiled for you in case you guys do want to pick this up for the discounted price. And then there's also this meow meow, which is the percentage. So you have this cute little mural here, which has all the characters. My favorite, so, like, of them all is Eve, who is the bottom right frontmost character. She is kind of like that European punk-esque girl. She's super good. I love her. She's kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog. And speaking of that, you can actually go back to the hero select at any time from the menu and change up your hero. So I'll just show you some of the things. I got like 100-ton or 1,000-ton hammer for her, and I've got a couple different colors. I like the purple color, and I forgot locking in the color accidentally locks in your character. That's my bad. But we can always just go back. There's also like a little girl diva-esque kind of character who's got this big drill and this big clampy arm. Her playstyle is really rough. Her dodge actually disengages her mech, so she will actually come out of her mech, and her mech will turn into a giant dog. I'm actually going to show you that, because it's pretty interesting. And I just want to cover some of the little basic mechanics of the game, just because I want you to see some of the charm this game has. It doesn't look good by all means. It's not amazing in its visuals, but its gameplay is kind of tight, and the fact that you can just open up your different plans and have your different movesets on command, I thought that was actually worth commenting on. The entire reason I made a What's This on this game was solely because I wanted to bring note that just because a game doesn't look good doesn't mean the developers aren't trying to add in something to make the game worth playing. So here we go. Here's your disengage with the mech, and you can actually send it chomping. The problem is, when you send it chomping, you are completely vulnerable. The mech actually attacks for you, and so you need to kind of keep in its radius. And in order to get back in, you actually have to jump into the mech. So when you get back to the mech, you jump into the mech, and there you go. Her attack speed is really slow. She's a big, huge hulking mech, but she does a lot of damage and has a lot of health. So she's kind of a huge bruiser in that aspect. She's kind of cute. I wonder what her other mech colors look like. There are certain characters that are actually way better at farming for different drops, like different chests and gifts, which are, Eve is definitely one of them. So that was just I just wanted to show you that quick hero, or heroine, I should say, because Bella, the juice drink, and they all come in soda cans as well. That's, you might have think, well, the whole game's called Soda Girls, what's the whole deal? Well, it's because they drink soda to heal up, and they also all come in soda cans. So here's Yolanda. Her whole thing is kind of like Balrog from Street Fighter. She punches really hard. Her normal weapons are just her fists, but I got these boxing gloves for her, which I thought were really cool, so I was equipping those. She's just straight up, she punches and lunges and kicks. Yumiko is actually one of the few characters who has no dodge. So I'm just going to, why not? We'll go in here to Sky City, to one of the first levels, just so we can show you the, what I'm going to call her dodge mechanic. She doesn't actually have a dodge mechanic. She has a counter mechanic. So you actually have to go over and get them to attack you, and then press B to hold up your sword. And then if you time it right, oh, I'm not timing it right. Huh? Okay, so I'm getting hit because I'm not timing this right. It's been a while since I played her. But drinking the soda with Y heals you up. And then let's see if we can't... Nope, too early. So let's see if we can't bait these guys into hitting me. There we go, perfect. See, it does a massive amount of damage and it's AoE. She'll actually dash through it the whole time. And there you go. She's really strong. She can also throw shurikens below her when she ramps up. These guys mutated because I have them set onto a stronger difficulty. But that's alright. And there we go. Death, because I didn't time the counter correctly. But yeah, everybody has... Actually, I should go back to the ornaments and explain this, because every character doesn't have the same ornaments. Because if you remember what JC had, she didn't have the ruby ring, then the golden keychain. She had a bunch of other things. Her golden keychain was, I think, 1 or 2 more over. So each character definitely has a different playstyle inherent to them. Which I found, when I found that out, I was actually really, really happy about that, because it means that each character not only feels different and has a different playstyle, but they're also inherently different with their power-ups, so you can't really bank on having the same power-ups activated at the same time as others. So here's Eve, my favorite character, just a quick little showcase of what she can do, and just to further cement the fact that we have different playstyles for each heroine, which, you know, it doesn't seem like a huge big deal, but it really is. For a game like this, it really is. So she basically just keeps lunging and just does a bunch of portals and just absolutely goes insane. These big guys with the sacks will constantly lob grenades. And her dodge is actually this tumble here. And the best thing about her tumble is you can actually hit and then do it. So she's got like an instant dash. So I could hit this guy here and then dash out of the way, which makes it insanely good for harassing bosses. Like, insanely good for harassing bosses. So, it's just really fun to go through the level just doing this, kind of hopping around, but you can't actually dodge in the air with her. So, I don't think there is many mid-air dodges. Not many at all. So, we actually unlocked a gift, which is great, because Eve is actually the gift farming character. So we're going to see what we got. We actually ended up getting, a soda +1 for JC. So you can actually get, which are, I'm going to compare it to Dark Souls again. I'm sorry, I played it recently, and it's pretty topical right now. But it's like an Estus up. So now she has 3 sodas instead of her regular 2. And Tiffany was a character I didn't really play all that much, but she's very melee focused, and she's got, obviously, that little minion ball. And the other character that I enjoyed playing, which I actually unlocked a bunch of stuff for first, was Cora. And Cora is hilarious. She's got this little gator dentist, or alligator dentist. I forget what that child's game is called, but it's called, like, the, gator dentist. I thought it was called something more, but when I heard it was actually called Gator Dentist, I was a little taken aback. So her whole thing is she's got a gun. She's a little bit like Mega Man. She can't charge up per se, but she also has a dash, and her dash makes her go invisible for a short time. And do we have our charge up? No, okay, I don't have her charge up attack actually on her in this string. I believe this is the string that has her charge up attack. Plan B. Whoop. I wanted to dash and I hit the button again for changing the plans. So there we go, there's a huge initial smash attack, which kind of makes the gun explode into a huge massive damage hit. It's really slow and has a lot of startup, which is another thing. I actually learned how to make all these combo strings start up and combo because of watching the Super Couch Fighters. Because I knew that there were startup frames and like ending animation frames, I knew how to chain these maneuvers together. So I'm just going to go back here to the plan just to explain that a little bit further for those who don't know. But some of these moves have very quick startup, and some have very slow startup, which means it takes a lot of different animation frames for them to actually start their attack, and some of them actually have a lot of ending frames, which means they recover a lot less. They're actually called recovery frames. So there's startup frames and recovery frames. So say if I punch somebody and I have like 3 frames startup, but I've got 8 frames recovery after the punch, that's usually not that fast, and it means that I'm going to have 8 frames after I do that attack, and then whatever the startup frames are for my next attack, in order before my next attack even hits. So this game has a little bit of depth in it just because of those simple mechanics. And the art style is... I'm not going to give it amazing credit, but I kind of like it. I like how all the characters are unique. They have their own unique style, their own unique feel. I mean, once again, it kind of feels like it was drawn a little bit in like an old Flash kind of, you know, animation studio, but the gameplay's kind of good, you guys, and that's why it gets a spot on What's This, because the gameplay was so tight. I think there was actually one more thing I forgot to mention that was really cool with this game, but I think it was actually just the memories and the story. There are the boss fights, which I'm going to go to the first boss and show you the first boss fight. And maybe show you at the end of the video with a little bit of the English intro by starting a new file. There are different save files, so if you're looking for that, there you go. But they also have these huge maps, which some areas lead nowhere, but might have a bigger reward or a hidden memory in them. So it's not always best to just go straight for the boss. But let's go straight for the first boss here, with our girl JC, who has by far the most attacks. I believe our plan... yeah, our plan C is the one we like the most. So, I mean, she still does the balls, even though she's got the hammer. And this is this huge guy called Faust, and he is just a big, big oaf. He's also going to start becoming absolutely crazy in a moment when he pulls out his chainsaw. I'm not worried about getting hit, because we were doing massive amounts of damage to this guy, and we have a dodge roll. But here we go. He actually rips open his gut and does a bunch of, like, acid spew. And then he'll start charging us with his... Oh, I missed the timing. But you can actually dodge that perfectly. JC can also dodge mid-attack as well. So if you're looking for that nice, fluid gameplay, kind of like Bloodborne or Dark Souls, then it kind of has it, believe it or not. It doesn't look like it does, but this game is pretty decent. And when you get higher and higher level... Oh, here comes one of his biggest attacks. There we go. If I was in front of him, it would have been really bad. And this is where you usually rescue Bella, so your first character you get is Bella, and that was finally the thing I wanted to remember to say. Each character is unlocked by different means. You don't just get them as you progress through the story. I believe you actually have to unlock the downtown area before anything else. So let's just go pick Yolanda for a second. And so I can get back to the main menu, because you can't actually exit the main menu from the heroine select. You actually have to go through this menu and go to exit to main menu. So from here, we'll just go start and go to new game, so you can see the intro, which is all these weird zombies and these zombie dogs and the hippies and whatnot. There's also the Dead movie. They got a bunch of that. It also does this cool little intro sequence showing you off all of JC's attacks and some cool art. Hi, my name is JC, a police officer. I'm investigating a case of missing, in fact. My friend suddenly disappeared. This has a relationship with a gangster named Fred. He had turned the city into a mess. Now he's kidnapped my friend. I must beat him. And that's it. That's your whole intro. This has a relationship with a gangster named Fred. Now, I'm not going to knock on the creator just because it's got English. It's really hard to translate into a new language, especially if you don't know the new language, and... I mean, there's effort here. I mean, the story's conveyed easily. Basically, you know what it is. Bad guys kidnap your friends, gotta go save them. There you go. All these nodes show because I have a save file with all of them already unlocked and beaten. So we're just going to go ahead and this is what it looks like when you don't have any of the characters. This is all like, oh, look, I haven't saved anybody. But as you progress through the game, you will make it all the way up to the downtown area. And once you beat the downtown area, I believe if I go to Hero Select, it will actually tell you how to unlock each character. So Bella is, with JC, complete the Riot Area. With Yumiko, complete downtown, which means I have to unlock Yumiko first. But in order to get Yumiko, I need to get Eve and then complete downtown. And then in order to get Eve, I have to beat downtown with JC. And in order to get Tiffany, I need to complete downtown with Cora. And in order to get Cora, I need to complete Cesspool with Bella. So most of them unlock in downtown, and you don't need to go through the entirety of the downtown area in order to unlock them. You just have to defeat the boss with those characters. And I will tell you right now, do not try and attack those bosses with a level 1 character with no gear. It is insanely hard, and it will take you a couple hours to get them all if you don't master each character quickly. I mean, getting... Yolanda, with the base level 1 Yumiko fighting that boss was ridiculous. But Yumiko's, since she's got that really powerful counterattack, it was quite easy to do. And that's pretty much all I have to say about Soda Girls. I mean, it doesn't look amazing. I mean, you guys probably already are wondering, why is he covering a game that looks this bad. I'm only covering a game that looks this bad because it actually plays pretty decently. And for like $3 to $4, I had a lot of fun. Don't judge me. I had a lot of fun. Look, I mean, I even played this game for almost 340 minutes. That's hours of fun. I also have 99 deaths. Oh, Lord. Oh, no, please. So it keeps track of your deaths. It keeps track of your the levels of your girls. It keeps track of all your trinkets and whatever you buy them for. It also keeps track of all your cosmetic items. And look at this. You've got cute cosmetic items like the alligator dentist, and this number 2 beam cannon. And these weird, I didn't unlock anything for Eve, which made me sad, and these weird boxing gloves, or things like this huge 1,000-ton hammer. So there's all this wonderful stuff in this game. It's just clearly somebody's first or second game, and I wanted to reward the effort. That's what I told some people when I was playing this game, is I wanted to reward their effort for adding in certain deep aspects like customizable combos. Because a lot of these side-scrolling beat-em-up games do not add in customizable attack strings. It's just not something they even think about. They just give you a character and say, oh, well, here's their weapon they use, this is what attacks they have, play the game. And that leaves with a bland, unsatisfying gameplay loop. But this game actually... Well, once you find those certain gameplay loops that make it just basically smash X to win, it's not going to be as fun, but it does encourage you to experiment. It really does. And you're not guaranteed to get those attacks because you don't get guaranteed what attacks drop for you. You have to grind if you want all the attacks. So with that said, I am definitely going to give Soda Girls kind of like a weird, cringy, but good rating. And so, I'm going to leave you all off with this weird, quirky, odd, yet somehow charming video game about a bunch of girls who need to save their friends from a bunch of bad guys. And I will see you all on another Random Wednesday here on What's This? Take care, everybody.